iteration is definitely a pivot. You go something and then you pivot and you change your direction, and that's a new iteration. But it's also, we use the word iteration in the course when we have the bubbles of uncertainty, and you're working on an uncertainty over, let's say, in the supply chain, and then you're figuring out that actually the gadget you wanted to make, there isn't a supply chain for this, so you need to make a new, maybe change your gadget. And now that you've changed your gadget, maybe you can't make the product that you wanted to make. And so you have to go back to the customers and ask them, would they still be interested if they had this? So iteration also in the sense that you're working towards a solution, and then you realize, oh, I thought I had this covered up to a certain point, but now I realize that I didn't actually have it covered. So now in a new iteration, I need to go back and reassess issues. So iteration really speaks to many, many small steps, but not just the pivot. The pivot is sort of the biggest iteration where you really change your business model, maybe. It's not a failure when the project fails, because you've learned a lot. It's an investment in your own capital, so to speak. Because if you've been through a project and you've learned how it didn't work, how it failed, that failure is in itself a success. Fail fast, fail often, you know. Well, an innovator is someone who just does it, goes through the process, and it requires intelligence in a number of ways. It certainly requires emotional intelligence and, you know, being a good team member and all these things. And it means being able to acquire information quickly. Some of it is not something that we associate with intelligence. For example, I think it's really important to pick up the phone. And you can quickly get information from people in the know that you could spend months online, say, and you will just not find the information. So there's a kind of ability to just learn, be comfortable with the uncertainty, be ready to go out and try things out. That's an innovator, I think. And we tend to identify intelligence with something different, right? It's by and large, the students that do the problem sets here at MIT are considered smart and intelligent because they're very good at making these problem sets, and that's a different skill set. It's a skill set that is required also in innovation, but it's not the only one, maybe not even the most important one. So, yeah. I mean, in intelligence, we change our minds all the time what intelligence is. Artificial intelligence is a case in point where we used to say chess is the measure of intelligence. So if we can just get the computers to play chess, then they are intelligent. Now we can get the computers to play chess better than humans, and so we don't now say the computers are intelligent. We redefine intelligence and say, I can tie my shoelaces, no computer can tie my shoelaces, so I'm smarter than the computer. So intelligence is also something that shifts all the time, but I think it tends to pinpoint one skill important in innovation, which is solving problem sets. It's narrow.